Hello students. In last class we were discussing about financial markets. In that we have segregated financial market into two categories. One is money market and another one is capital market, right? So financial market can be defined as it is the marketplace where funds are borrowed and lent, right? It is the place. And money market is the place where funds are borrowed and lent on short term basis. That means within a year, the entire transaction should be completed. The borrowing thing and paying back everything should be completed within a year. And minimum period may be overnight, etc., etc. You will get to know once we discuss further, right? So money market, it is the place where funds are borrowed and lent on short-term basis. Short-term basis in the sense within a year, the entire transaction should be completed. So in today's class, we are going to discuss about money market instruments. Very important topic. You may make a note of it. Money market instrument. So you should keep in mind always that money market is meant for short term. That is, the person who is having excess money invests for short term period. He needs that fund back within a year, and a person borrows money for short term period, that too for within a year. He needs money borrowed for the period of maybe 1 week, 2 week, 1 month, 2 month. Within a year, the entire borrowing and paying back should be completed, right? So you should keep in mind always that money market works for short term, that too within a year. And one case is exceptional, we will discuss that later, right? So money market instrument, say for example, see, if you need money, to whom you ask? You ask your father or parent, right? So you need money and you ask for your father. Now, what happens in case of a bank needs money for its banking business, for lending purposes, etc., etc. So the father of bank is in India, it is the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, right? So banker, whenever banker needs money, he asks his father called RBI, Reserve Bank, Central Bank. Now, RBI lends loan to this bank. Say this bank may be SBI. SBI need money and it borrows from RBI. While borrowing, this RBI charges some interest rate, right? So if this SBI, State Bank of India, borrows loan from RBI for its banking business or banking purpose, see, we are discussing money market instrument. We have taken an instance of bank called SBI. Now SBI needs money for its banking business. It goes to RBI and asks for money. So RBI lends loan to bank SBI, and this bank has to pay the principal amount with certain amount of interest rate also. The rate of interest this RBI charges is called as repo rate. So one money market instrument, first money market instrument, repo rate. So repo rate is the rate at which banks borrow from central banks, Reserve Bank of India in India, right? In our example, SBI needs money for its banking business and it borrows money from Reserve Bank of India and it has to pay that back, pay back its loan with certain amount of interest rate. So currently the repo rate in India is 5.4%, right? And the maximum period, the repayment of loan takes place within 90 days. Make note of it. 90 days, maximum 90 days Within the 90 days, SBI borrows loan from RBI and it repays RBI along with the interest rate called repo rate. Repo rate in current repo rate is 5.4% and maximum time period to repay its loan to RBI is 90 days. So one thing, first money market instrument is repo rate. Why repo rate is considered as money market instrument? Because the entire transaction ends in 90 days, right? So 90 days comes in a year. Within a year, the entire transaction takes place. So we are discussing about money market. Money market is the place where funds are bought and funds are lent and borrowed for short-term basis. That too within a year. So 90 days, the entire transaction completes in case of repo rate. So this is the one of the money market instrument. So repo rate can be defined as the rate at which banks borrow from RBI. Maybe any commercial banks, any other bank borrow from RBI, right? Now, the second money market instrument is called bank rate. So bank rate is also very similar to repo rate. Again, the bank rate can be defined as the rate at which banks borrow from RBI. Both the definition are same, but the time period to repay this loan is from 90 days to maximum 1 year, right? So in case of repo rate, the entire loan should be paid back within 90 days. Maximum 90 days, you have to finish this entire transaction in case of repo rate. But in case of bank rate is also very similar to repo rate like the other commercial banks, the rate at which other commercial banks borrow from central bank. It is also called bank rate. And currently in India is 5.65% is called bank rate, and the only difference between the repo rate and bank rate is the payback period is maximum 1 year. Within a year, the entire transaction should be completed in case of bank rate. See, only difference between repo rate and bank rate is days to be paid back. So in case of repo rate, maximum 90 days. In case of bank rate, it's maximum 1 year. Within a year, the entire transaction should be completed. See, we started this class with the SBI needs money for its banking business. So it goes to RBI, that is the father of bank, for asking money. And RBI lends loan to SBI and charges certain amount of interest, certain rate of interest. That rate is defined as repo rate and bank rate. And only the difference between these two is the maximum days to be the loan and the entire transaction takes place, the maximum days, right? In case of repo rate, maximum days are 90 days, and in case of bank rate, it's 90 days to 1 year, 90 days plus, right? More than 90 days, and within a year, the entire transaction takes place. Now, the next money market instrument used by banks are also called as MSFs, marginal standing facility. And marginal standing facility also, these banks, whenever they need money, goes to RBI asking for loan, right? Again, RBI lends loan to other banks at same as bank rate, that is 5.65% as of now, the same rate as bank rate. And the time period, the entire transaction takes place between minimum overnight, that is 12 hours, to maximum a day, maximum 1 day, from overnight, that is 12 hours, to maximum 1 day. So we are discussing about money market instrument. So money market instrument we have discussed so far: repo rate, that is the rate at which banks borrow from central banks; Bank rate, again the rate at which banks borrow from RBI, but the repayment period is from 90 days to maximum 1 year. And another one is marginal standing facility, MSFs. The interest rate as of now is 5.65% in India, and the time period to repay and the time period to finish entire transaction is from overnight, that is 12 hours to entire 1 day, right? So these are the three money market instrument. Again, now what happens if in case if in case now you need money, you have asked your father or parent for money, now he has given, and you are now you cannot ask for further money to your parent, right? So you go to another option is you go to your friend and asking for money. Now you need money. You have taken money so far with your father. Now you need further money. Again, you need money, some more money. Now you cannot ask your father again. So you are asking your friend. Likewise, in India, there is also another facility available in our country that interbank transaction takes place. That means if SBI has taken loan from RBI. Now it cannot go to RBI because the amount is exhausted. Now further loan RBI cannot grant to SBI, right? So RBI, now SBI, State Bank of India, it goes to its friend, maybe called Canara Bank, for further loan, right? So that means in India, interbank transaction takes place, right? Borrowing and lending takes between these two banks in our country, right? Now see, if you borrow loan from RBI lends at repo rate, one instrument. RBI lends at bank rate if you are taking loan for a year or 8 months to 10 months. And MSF, if you are taking loan for overnight, by the evening you need some more cash for today, and tomorrow morning you are paying back, you may ask for money with the RBI, and it is called as MSF. The interest rate charged is as same as bank rate as for marginal standing facility also. Now, SBI needs further fund and it cannot go again to RBI. So what SBI is doing? So SBI calls to Canara Bank for loan, and it talks about, it asks Canara Bank, I need some money, right? Canara Bank grants loan to SBI. Canara Bank says yes. Now, again, we have discussed these three types of money market instrument. Now, another types of money market instruments are call money, notice money, and term money. Again, on the basis of time period, call money should be paid back within 1 day. Right? And if SBI fails to repay that loan amount in a day, and it automatically it converts to notice money within 2 days minimum and maximum 14 days. Maximum 14 days, right? So see, now the instance is like this. SBI needs further fund after borrowing from Reserve Bank of India, RBI, and it asks its friend Canara Bank for further loan, and Canara Bank grants loan for 1 day. The 1 day, the entire loan should be paid back. So if within a day SBI pays back, that loan is called as call money. That is why this is considered as money market instrument is the entire borrowing thing and paying back thing is completed within a day. That That's within a year. If it happens, it is considered as money market instrument, right? So in this case, SBI borrows money from Canara Bank and it pays back its entire loan in one day. If it pays back in one day, it is called as call money. The instrument, that loan is considered as call money. If it fails to repay in a day, then it asks further time with the Canara Bank. It asks Canara Bank, I cannot pay today, so I will pay within this week. That means within 14 days, from 2 working days to 14 working days, within 14 working days. So Canara Bank says, yes, fine, you can pay it after a week, and this instrument is called as notice money, right? Again, SBI fails to pay back this loan even within 14 days. Even after 15 days, SBI calls Canara Bank that I need some more time to pay my loan. So Canara Bank says, fine, no issues. You can pay it within 1 year. From, from 15 days to maximum 1 year. 1 year maximum is called as term money. So since the entire borrowing and paying back of loan takes place within a year, the term money is also considered as one of the money market instrument, right? So if the transaction between any commercial banks, any banks with the RBI, these are the three money market instruments. If the transaction between two commercial banks than the Reserve Bank of India or central bank, it is called as call money, notice money, and term money. So you may ask, what will be the interest rate? See, I have mentioned this is the 5.4% interest, and this is 5.65%, and this is MSF is also 5.65%. Now you may ask, what will be the interest rate charged for all these money market instruments? See, there are no predetermined interest rate here in this case of interbank transaction, right? So if the State Bank of India fails to pay this call money, this loan, the Canara Bank may charge some more interest, because interest for one day is something and interest for 7 days, 8 days, or within 14 days, it differs, right? So Canara Bank may charge some more interest rate. It may increase the interest rate. And if SBI fails to repay its loan in even within 14 days, again it asks for term called maybe within a year, within this 2020 gets over, I will repay this loan. So now again, Canara Bank may charge some more interest rate because the date is extended for paying back of its loan. So as of now, we are discussing about money market instrument. Money market is the marketplace where short-term funds are borrowed and lent. That means within a year, borrowing and paying back is should takes place. The entire transaction should be completed within 364 days or 1 year. That's what money market talks about. Now we are discussing about money market instrument. You can make a note of it. Very important topic, money market instrument. We have discussed repo rate. That is the rate at which banks borrow from Reserve Bank. See, banks have two options: from borrowing from SBI, its father, and borrowing from its friend, any other banks, commercial banks. So any commercial banks borrow it from RBI. These are the three instruments. One is repo rate, another one is bank rate, another one is marginal standing facility. So repo rate, the maximum days to pay back is 90 days. Bank rate, the maximum days is 90 days. From 90 days to 1 year, maximum 1 year, it should not exceed 1 year. And marginal standing facility is for overnight and within a day transaction, that is called MSF. And if the banks borrow from internally, it's called as call money for one day, and notice money if the loan repayment period is extended to 2 days, from 2 days to 14 days max, is called notice money. If again further days are extended for repayment of loan, then it is called as term money, and the maximum time period is maximum 1 year. From 15 days to 1 year, it is called as term money. Now, again, this SBI, so far we have discussed about 6 types of market instruments, money market instruments, right? So now, this SBI needs some more fund. Now it has asked its father, that is also our option is over. Now it cannot ask again and it cannot raise further loan from its father. Now it has asked loan with its friend Canara Bank, any other bank. That option also over. Again, SBI needs fund. Now SBI needs, say for example, 100 crores. Now State Bank of India needs 100 crores and it offers to the public now. It goes to public for this fund. Public in the sense, not me, not you, not any individual. It asks multinational companies, it asks state government, it asks central government, it asks other institutions and corporates, right? So it offers, maybe in a newspaper, it gives an advertisement saying, we are issuing 100 crores. We are issuing, the instrument is called, I will explain it later. It needs 100 crores. It offers, it will pay 7% interest, 7% interest per annum, and it will pay back in 1 year. So there are some people who have 100 crore, like say for example, Mr. Birla. Mr. Birla thinks that I have 100 crore surplus money, excess money with me. I need to be invest in, since it is within a year, it is going to pay back. SBI is going to pay back. It is also considered as one of the money market instrument. So Birla thinks that I have 100 crores surplus money, excess money with me. I will buy this instrument. That means I will finance SBI. I will give 100 crore rupees to SBI. So fine. SBI says fine. We need money. That's it. SBI says to Birla that we need 100 crores and you are paying. You are giving us 100 crores. That's fine. Great thing. Now Birla thinks that. So what is the guarantee you are giving? See, I am giving you 100 crores. What is the guarantee that within a year or within 365 days, you are paying this amount back with this interest? How should I believe you? Birla is asking to SBI. So now SBI says, fine, I will make a stamp paper containing all these details. So we are accepting 100 crore rupees and we are accepted here by paying 7% interest per annum, and this within a year we will pay back, or within the 10 months or 11 months we will pay back this amount along with the interest rate to Birla, and the SBI concerned person have its signature. This is the stamp paper. So it gives to Birla.